Another day, another story. Once upon a time, there was a playful puppy named Duke who lived in a cozy little house with his owners, the Johnson family. Duke loved playing fetch and chasing his tail, but his favorite thing in the world was his fluffy cat friend, Miss Fluffy. Miss Fluffy was a grumpy old cat who would always hiss at Duke whenever he tried to play with her. But Duke was persistent and always followed her around, wagging his tail and trying to get her to play. One day, while Duke was out in the backyard playing fetch, he accidentally knocked over a vase and broke it. The Johnson family scolded Duke and made him go to his doghouse in the backyard, feeling sad and alone. As Duke lay in his doghouse, feeling sorry for himself, he heard a faint meowing sound coming from the other side of the fence. He peeked over the fence and saw Miss Fluffy stuck in a tree, meowing for help. Without a moment's hesitation, Duke ran over to the fence and gnawed through the fence post, creating a hole big enough for Miss Fluffy to escape. Miss Fluffy was surprised and touched by Duke's heroic act, and decided to forgive him for all the times he had annoyed her. From that day forward, Miss Fluffy and Duke became the best of friends, playing together and snuggling up next to each other for naps. And Duke learned that sometimes, even the grumpiest of cats can have a soft spot in their heart. As the days passed, Duke and Miss Fluffy became inseparable. They played together, cuddled together, and even ate together. The Johnson family was surprised to see the unlikely friendship between the cat and the dog. One day, the Johnson family decided to take Duke and Miss Fluffy on a trip to the park. As they were walking through the park, Duke suddenly heard a cry for help. He looked around and saw a little girl crying by the pond. The girl's ball had fallen into the pond, and she was too scared to go get it. Without a moment's hesitation, Duke ran towards the pond and jumped in. He grabbed the ball with his teeth and swam back to the little girl, who was now smiling from ear to ear. The Johnson family and Miss Fluffy watched in amazement as Duke became a hero once again. After that day, Duke became a local hero in the neighborhood. Everyone loved him, and he even had his own fan club. Miss Fluffy was proud of her best friend, and often bragged about his heroic acts. But despite all the attention and fame, Duke remained humble and never forgot his roots. He would always be a playful puppy at heart, and Miss Fluffy would always be his loyal friend. The Johnson family was happy to see Duke and Miss Fluffy's friendship grow and blossom into something beautiful. And they knew that no matter what life threw their way, Duke and Miss Fluffy would always be there for each other, through thick and thin.